Amigos de Deportes en Línea, nos encontramos aquí ya dentro del estadio, dentro de la cancha del Paycom Center. Como ustedes pueden ver detrás de mí está el equipo de Indiana haciendo su práctica de tiro antes del partido. Buen ambiente dentro de la facilidad, buen ambiente también en las calles, como mencionábamos ahorita, donde ya se ve público, ofrece público entrando, tratando de entrar y para disfrutar de este primer partido de la serie final. Como decía ahorita, la ciudad se veía un poco calmada, tanto en la mañana como en la tarde, pero ya se ve cierto movimiento en los alrededores del estadio. Un partido, como hemos dicho ya varias veces, de mucho interés. El primer partido siempre te da como una visión de lo que va a ser la serie. Y yo creo que este partido, Indiana debería, obviamente tú debes tratar de ganar todos los partidos, pero yo creo que si hay un partido que Indiana se puede robar en la cancha aquí en este Paycom Center, debe ser el partido 1 por las razones antes explicadas, de que el equipo de Oklahoma tiene más de una semana, alrededor de 10 días que no veía acción, y el estilo de juego de Indiana es un poquito incómodo, es un poquito difícil de adaptarse, tal como lo dijera el dirigente de los Oklahoma City Thunders, Mark Daigneault. Vamos a ver cómo los ajustes que hacen de ambas bancas, ambos equipos, ambos lados, a ver quién se lleva la victoria en el día de hoy.
Luxury of that?
Well, there's a huge luxury to Lou, because I think more so than anything I could say about him, I think the other players don't like playing against him. He's just an irritant. He's physical. He's relentless. He's well studied at this point in his career. He's experienced. And then having the other guys, there's just a compounding effect to having that type of point of attack defense, not just with the Wallace Caruso dub layer, but even the bigs can get out on the floor. And then the other guys that don't get the same reputation are pretty good. They're competitive and they execute the schemes, and so it gives us huge flexibility and versatility. But certainly having a guy that takes on those matchups like Lou is a great place to start.
Again, front right.
What growth have you seen from Alex Caruso as a defender now versus when you first coached him in the G League?
He was a rookie when we coached him in the G League, so he was good, like smart and tough and had the same physical profile. He wasn't as strong as he is now, but he always had that stuff, but he was just learning the pictures. I remember his first training camp, and he was guarding Westbrook, and he was like getting torched by Westbrook, as anybody would have been as a rookie, and as most of the league was at that time. But just Westbrook's speed and power. I was watching Alex through the lens of he was going to end up playing for us, so I was watching more him than Westbrook, and I was like, man, that was gory. And now it's amazing what he's done, because now he can handle all the matchups. I think it's because he's really studied the league. He's learned how to play angles, tendencies. He's like an encyclopedia on that end of the floor. There was that famous article about Battier in whatever outlet it was, and he's kind of like that. He's kind of a computer on that end of the floor, and he applies it to the game. It's very impressive.
In the back center.
You have a lot of G League players on your roster, guys that have that history. Pacers have some too. What does that say about the G League and its importance for this franchise, maybe more wholly the league? And then what characteristics do those guys you feel like bring to your team?
I mean, zooming out in the larger system of the NBA, it's a salary cap system that's designed to pull everybody to the middle. And so the way that you have to navigate that is with player development, and player development has a fixed capacity. In terms of minutes, you only have 82 games, you only have 48 minutes a game, and the best way to develop players is for them to play. And if you can't use NBA game minutes, it becomes about how you can navigate that, and the G League is the next best thing, in terms of guys getting experience, guys growing their game, learning their game, staying confident is a huge part of that, if they're not playing. And then you can find, obviously, really good players in the G League. As most teams have experienced over the last few years, there's a lot of good players out there that just need the right opportunity. And we try to stay open-minded, not only with the guys we're sending there, but the guys that are in the program that may not be under contract for us at a given point in time.
Frank, if I may ask you to put your NBCA hat on, what was your reaction yesterday when you heard about Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I get asked frequently about these things, and I always say shocked, you know, and then sometimes you get numb and you're not shocked, but you know, the Knicks had such a unique situation with so much attention and such a large fan base and such a worldwide following. It's one of the most difficult jobs to take. The guys that have been most successful, you know, Red Holtzman, Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy, Rick Pitino had a short run, but a very effective run. And then, you know, there were a lot of lean years, and you know, Tibbs went in there and changed so much. And so you look at all that, and then what happened yesterday. And when I first saw it, it came over one of the, you know, I thought it was one of those fake AI things, you know, that no way, this no way possible, you know. And I know how the players feel about him too. And so there's not much else to say. I mean, teams and ownership can make these decisions unilaterally, and it's their right to do that. And so Tom will certainly be fine. I don't think he's going to have any problem finding his next job. It's just going to depend on when he's ready to jump back in again. But I have great respect for Tibbs. I go back with him a very long way, and you know, I was surprised.
It's 7 different champions in 7 years, no matter who wins. David handed trophies to 8 different franchises in his 30 years. You're about to hand a trophy to your 9th different franchise in 12 years. Did you ever envision that this run would continue for as long as it has? And how good or not or indifferent is it for the league that there is this diversity of champion every year?
You know, first of all, I was talking about those statistics when Herb Simon, you know, of course, bought his team, and you had 60% of championships have been won by 2 teams. And then for now, jump ahead, you know, another 15 years or so, and by this a little longer, 65 years into the league, 3 teams had won 60% of the championship. And I remember when I first joined the league, David used to joke David Stern, early on in his tenure as commissioner, he said his job was to go back and forth between Boston and LA handing out championship trophies. So to your point, I think it was very intentional. It didn't begin with me. It began with David, of course, in successive collective bargaining agreements, where we set out to create a system that allowed for more competition around the league, with the goal being to have 30 teams all in a position, if well managed, to compete for championships. And that's what we're seeing here. And I've said before, I mean, the goal is that market size essentially becomes irrelevant. And I'd say it's the reason I wanted to talk a little bit about technology earlier. In part, it's the successive collective bargaining agreements, and thank you to the players, because I think they recognize we all had an interest in serving the fans, and that fans in every city want to see their team be competitive. But in addition, these technological changes have changed the meaning of the differential from one city to another. I mean, this is, I don't know, roughly 700,000 people in Oklahoma City, I think around 900,000 in Indianapolis. So not such small markets as Mayor Holt pointed out, but even if there were another million people or so in a city, when you're talking to a global market in a sport like the NBA, where we're being followed by billions of people around the world, those incremental changes become pretty meaningless. So, you know, I'd say back to your question, I can't say standing here, I envision that we'd have, you know, 7 different champions over 7 years. I'd only say the goal isn't necessarily to have a different champion every year. It's to have, you know, as you said before, parity of opportunity. And, you know, hats off to Oklahoma City and Indianapolis, 2 incredibly well-run franchises, top to bottom, that deserve to be here. So if whichever team were to win, if they were to repeat, I wouldn't then be saying this therefore isn't working because I didn't go to a different city to hand out the trophy. I'd be saying that's the system we wanted to create. As long as there's a level playing field, again, it's where we're focused on is the process that goes into building the team, not the outcome. And so the outcomes will be whatever they are. Thanks.
First half was rough. 19 turnovers. The good thing was it was only 9 points, and so we were within reach of still being in the game. I think we won the third quarter by 3, which was progress. And then they went up 15, and we just said, hey, let's just keep chipping away at the rock, and keep pounding the rock, and just chip away and hang in. And we had a lot of experience in these kinds of games. And our guys have a real good feel for what it's all about, giving ourselves a chance, and we got fortunate, but made plays.
Got Agnes Fieldhouse Finals. Rick, take us through kind of the locker room after the game, the message, because you want to enjoy it, but you also quickly have to move on to the next one.
Yeah, we haven't been celebrating a whole lot with anything, and that's. Some of that is our experience last year. Some of it is Pascal having been through, this kind of a run and getting to the finals before. We know we have a lot of work to do, and we have to play a lot better. I mean, 19 turnovers and a half if it's not a record for the finals, it's got to be up there, close to it. And so, and they're a menace, defensively, and we too often took it into crowds, and then other times they just take the ball out of your hands, and it's just the level of their defense is crazy good. So, but to answer your question, a real even temper after the game, and now there's two days between the first 2 games. Instead of a 13-day series, which we had with New York, this is day 1 of 17 days. So this is going to be a long journey and a lot going on. And so we're just going to have to keep our eye on the ball and keep focusing on one another.
Keep you guys going.
Well, obviously, we know we turned the ball over way too much. Just not who we are. But I mean, credit to the defense, like they, just on another level in terms of just disrupting the game and making mistakes and stuff. So we got to take care of the ball. And I think in the second half, we just kind of did a better job of just taking care of the ball a little bit. And again, they made some tough plays, and we just kept going. We like you said, we always know that we have a chance. So so as long as we just keep playing, but they play so good and just in defensively, and they're such a tough team for sure.
Pascal, Guilherme Sapp from ESPN Brazil. This is one of the loudest arenas in NBA, but sometimes in the fourth quarter we could hear like "Go Pacers, go!" and they chanting defense when you guys were defending. How much does it mean to know that even when in one of the loudest arenas in NBA, you still have the Pacers faithful here and you can hear them?
Yeah, right, that was huge. Yeah, shout out to those guys, man. Just they're so passionate about us, and we're so blessed to have them as fans, and just all the people that were here just cheering us on, and in such a tough environment. But yeah, shout out to them. We're gonna need the support, obviously here, and then also when we're at home.
The only lead change of the entire game was your game winner, and they say one time is luck, two times is a habit, three times it's the truth. So what's the fourth time that you're able to take control of a game like that in the NBA Finals?
I don't know. I think we're just really resilient group. We just do a great job of just sticking in and just settling into the game. And through the course of the game, it kept getting it felt like it could get ugly. It could who knows where this game is heading. I thought we did a great job of just walking them down. When it gets to 15, you can panic, or you can talk about how do we get it to 10, how do we get it to 5, and from there. So, I think all series, that's what we preach as a group is, when we get down big, let's just find a way to incrementally get it down. It was at 15, we got it to 8 pretty fast, and that gave us confidence. We kept getting stops. Miles and Andrew made big play after big play down the stretch. Miles got a wide open look on the wing, missed that one, but we just stuck with it. Andrew was huge down the stretch, and we got a big stop there, and they got a lot of confidence in me to make that shot. So I don't know what you say about it. I just know that this group is a resilient group, and we don't give up to 0.
You mentioned that you guys huddled up during the challenge there, and just basically said, "We get a stop here. We're going to go." One, how much confidence and faith do you have in those situations to not just need a timeout to stop? And then was that a spot on the floor that you sort of were trying to get to? We normally kind of see you go to that middle of the floor.
Yeah, I think our conversation is more of a hypothetical because we thought Pascal got fouled there. I was surprised there wasn't a call there. We didn't really know the time on the clock. We saw a reset to 14 rather than a full shot clock. So at first we were talking about, do we trap twice and foul? And then we said, okay, there's difference on the clock. Let's just be solid, get a stop, and then rebound and run. And Obi came up with it. I don't even know who came up with the rebound. I just know the ball ended up in Obi's hands, and then he passed it to me. So thought we just did a great job of sticking with it and just staying solid. In that situation, we had a couple dumb fouls. I had a couple dumb fouls there late in the fourth end of the free throw line. But we just showed our chest. We're solid. Had to get a big rebound there. That's a big rebound, especially with the guys on the court they have with Dort and Caruso crashing the glass. And, got the rebound and just made a play on the offensive side. So, I'm obviously confident in my ability, and feel like if I can get to that spot, I feel very comfortable in there. And so, just it's a shot I've worked on a million times, and I'll work on a million times more. So, just have confidence in the shot.
Bien, amigos de Deportes en Línea, estamos aquí en la cancha del Paycom Center, justo en el tabloncillo, donde acaba de terminar uno de los juegos más emocionantes. Y otra vez, el equipo de Indiana lo volvió a hacer. Mientras estaba viendo el juego, me acordé de la narración de Franklin. I can't believe it, lo hizo otra vez. Tyrese Haliburton, el canasto ganador, para darle al equipo de Indiana Pacers la primera victoria en esta serie final que dio inicio en el día de hoy. Un juego completamente diferente, extraño, y como le decíamos al principio, si había un juego que Indiana tenía la oportunidad de robárselo, era este. Tenían Oklahoma venía descansado, un estilo de juego diferente del equipo de Indiana, y lo mostraron una vez más, y lo dijeron prácticamente el dirigente Henry Lyles y los tres jugadores que fueron a la rueda de prensa, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam y Tyrese Haliburton. Ese equipo no se rinde. Ya habíamos contado que lo habían hecho 3 veces, se lo hicieron al equipo de Milwaukee, se lo hicieron al equipo de Cleveland y se lo hicieron al equipo de Nueva York en cada una de las rondas, y ahora en la ronda final, en el primer partido, vuelven y lo hacen de nuevo. Un juego que el que ve la hoja de anotación vio que en la primera mitad el equipo de Indiana perdió 19 pelotas, 19 bolas perdió, pero solamente el equipo de Oklahoma pudo hacerle 9 puntos. Si usted se pone a ver cómo va a ser con un equipo que pierde 19 pelotas en una mitad, el equipo contrario solo le puede anotar 9 puntos. Eso dice mucho de la resiliencia, de la fuerza del equipo de Indiana. Generalmente cuando un equipo hace eso, mentalmente pierde el momentum, pierde la concentración, hay frustración de parte del equipo que pierde 19 pelotas en una primera mitad, perdieron 9 en el primer cuarto y 10 en el segundo cuarto. Y usted dirá, bueno, ya, el jugador, la mente le traiciona y dice, ya perdimos, este juego no es para nosotros, y se entrega. El caso de Indiana no es así. Indiana no juega así, eso es lo que nos han dicho de todo con el cual hemos hablado. Y Es un equipo que no se rinde, un equipo que espera un momento, espera una chispa y ahí comienza el comeback. Decía Tyrese Haliburton que hasta que el reloj no marque cero, ellos no han perdido. Y lo ponen en práctica, lo han puesto en práctica y le ha dado resultados. Mucho crédito a Nembhard, el que hizo unas paradas defensivas en los momentos clave, fueron desmontando la ventaja. En un momento perdían de 14, en otra de 16, lo bajaron a 10 puntos, lo bajaron a 8 puntos, lo bajaron a 4. Ahí hubo una opción de tiro no muy elegante de parte de Indiana, recuperó la pelota Oklahoma, fue y volvieron a poner el juego de 8 puntos. Faltando un minuto, faltando 2 minutos a lo justo, lo pusieron un juego de 8 puntos, pero eso no fue óbice para que Indiana volviera a remontar, a robarse una pelota, a hacer 2 buenas paradas defensivas. El crédito a Nembhard nuevamente, una bola perdida, faltando 20 y algo de segundos, con el juego de 1 punto, el que perdió Pascal Siakam por la línea, y ahí todo el mundo pensó, bueno, ya, Oklahoma en 6 de canasto y se acabó el partido. No fue así. Cogieron el rebote defensivo, la bola a mitad de la cancha le llega a Tyrese Haliburton, faltando menos de 10 segundos, y el resto fue historia. Volvió a encetar el canasto otra vez, dejándole solamente a Oklahoma 0.3 segundos para hacer ofensiva. Muy poco tiempo, lograron hacer el tiro, pero no fue exitoso, y se roba entonces Indiana la ventaja de la casa, llevándose el primer partido, tal cual como habíamos dicho que era lo que tenía que tratar Indiana. Así que si había un juego que ellos podían ganar, pueden ganar otros, pero el juego de ellos, desde mi punto de vista, era para poder ganar uno aquí en la casa. La serie pausa hasta el domingo, que es el segundo juego. Ya luego de ahí entonces la serie se traslada a Indiana, donde se va a jugar el miércoles y se va a jugar el viernes. Mucha prensa. Este estadio, señores, esta cancha es espectacular, espectacular. La presentación, de la manera en que hacen la presentación de los jugadores, el público, cómo se integra el público al juego, todo el tiempo haciendo bulla. Los mismos jugadores de Indiana, todos dijeron que este ambiente es inclusive hasta mucho más incómodo que el del Madison Square Garden cuando se estaban enfrentando a los Knicks. Para que ustedes tengan una idea de la cantidad de ruido y la bulla, como decimos nosotros, que hace este equipo de Oklahoma y sus fanaticadas, que está integrado. La cancha estaba completamente llena y lamentablemente no pudieron alzarse con la victoria, pero ese es el deporte. Nada, señores, aquí termina la cobertura del primer partido de la serie final. Manténgase conectado a nuestro canal de YouTube, Deportes en Línea RD, para que vea todo el contenido que estamos haciendo y usted esté al tanto con las cosas que generalmente no salen en el periódico normal. Gracias y manténgase en sintonía con Deportes en Línea.
Mi primer pensamiento.
La televisión cambió y nosotros fuimos los primeros en dar el paso.
Nosotros tenemos la mayor reserva de oro de toda esta región.
Yo creo que aquí hay que alertar a todos los sectores de la sociedad.
El Nuevo Diario TV, primer canal totalmente digital de la República Dominicana. Pioneros en transmitir por redes sociales, con una programación diferente pensada para ti.
Se ha hablado entre el gobierno dominicano y el gobierno argentino de la ley minera de la República Dominicana.
Un canal innovador, moderno y cercano para mantenerte informado de lo que ocurre en nuestro país y el mundo.
El que lo tenga, que Dios se lo bendiga.
El Nuevo Diario, 44 años transformando la comunicación.
Bien, amigos, nos encontramos aquí en la cancha del Paycom Center, hogar de los Oklahoma City Thunders, donde se va a realizar mañana el segundo juego de la serie final. Acaba de terminar el Media Day para el partido de mañana y tenemos muchas impresiones y muchas preguntas que pudimos hacer a los diferentes protagonistas de los dos partidos. Obviamente todo giró alrededor de ese último tiro de Tyrese Haliburton y de la manera tan dramática que terminó el partido. Todos los jugadores, tanto los de Oklahoma como los de Indiana, coincidieron en la energía y el engagement del público durante el partido. Para los jugadores de Indiana, específicamente, fueron muy sorprendidos y le decían a todos que que le llamó mucho la atención cómo se involucraba el público y tantos ruidos que hicieron. De aquí en adelante, vamos a ver qué pasa, cómo la preparación para mañana, todos están ansiosos, todos quieren que llegue el día de mañana para el segundo partido. Así que disfruten de estas entrevistas y estas preguntas que estuvimos haciendo en el Media Day para el disfrute de ustedes. Recuerden siempre suscribirse a nuestro canal de YouTube, Deportes en Línea RD. Lou, would you like to be the primary defender against the last shot?
I would like to be on the last shot. The last shot? Oh, no, honestly, I mean, no, we have a lot of guys that can guard on our team. Jason Wallace is a big one. You know, he's one of the best defenders in the league. And we all felt confident on him being in front of him on that last shot. You know, he made a tough shots. Got to give credit to him. But, you know, Queso did his job for sure in that game.
You guys forced a lot of turnovers, but weren't as effective as much as in converting those points of turnovers. How can you guys improve that towards game two?
Yeah, you know, we got to do a better job of that. You know, finding the open man, just playing faster, whatever it is. You know, whatever the game is giving us after we turn them over, we gotta go out there and execute that.
Moments years ago talking about like that's the stage we want to get at. This is what we're working towards.
For sure. I mean, those. I mean, we both we two winners. We want to win, and then you know, when you get to this point, I mean, you've won a lot of games. So you know, we had those type of conversation, and then you know, I'm glad we both in this position right now for that.
Lou, when do you let game one go? What kind of person are you on tough losses?
Got to move on, honestly. I mean, there's nothing you can do anymore other than just watch film and learn from it. But I just know that there's a lot of stuff that we learned from watching the film that we did, and then you know, just got to move on and get ready for game two.
Do you feel the city when you guys have especially on this level with the finals and everything? And I don't know if you got any vibe going around town yesterday or anything.
I mean, nah. I know they're happy for us and they really believe in us. You know, we'll keep working on our side to make them proud.
Looking forward to game two, but one moment back to game one, because was it still even a surprise for you guys? Because for me, I mean, do it once is okay, but do it 4 times. Yeah, what was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's one game. Just got to continue to kind of, you know, stay who we are. Obviously, that game was, I thought we were in control for most of it, so shocking the way it ended, but like I said, getting back to ground zero, understanding that it's a 4-game series, and, you know, we let one slip, but we you know, have more games in front of us.
When you got home, did your family ask you about the result of the game?
I didn't talk about anything after the game. Kind of just sat down and watched film. That's it.
Some games you lose and then you find a little bit like something happens with your confidence. I was talking to some fans after the game and everyone was like, Thunder in 5. What is that? How's that in your team?
I mean, no guys lose confidence. Guys feel good, win or loss every game. This is a professional league, and you got to be able to maintain a certain level of confidence to be able to play and compete at this level. And we have all the guys in the room who are the most confident in themselves as they can be, and they're ready to go at any point in time when their number's called. And as a team, unbothered, not having lost confidence, not shook to the point where, you know, we feel any different than we did going into game one.
This is for Dominican Republic. Hey, what do you remember playing alongside Chris Duarte?
Chris was here when I was a rookie. He was someone who has helped me get into the league, and I thought he had a lot of kind of things to kind of teach me as being a second-year guy and just going through what I went through my first year. So a lot of good things coming from me.
Awesome, and I was just wondering what it was like to be out there in game one of the finals and playing, you know, with Shea. You guys played together, you know, so long. That must have been a surreal experience.
No, definitely. I think playing in the finals was a crazy experience. Walking on the court was something you live for, and the crowd here was amazing. The noise was the most I've ever felt in the game. So kind of all just came together. And the nerves settled in, and it was a fun game.
You and Andrew had that little moment, or sorry, you and Shea had that moment, I guess third quarter, fourth quarter, kind of shoved each other basically. What was that all about?
Just competition, getting a little physical. Guys are out there trying to win the game, and there's no friends at this point.
The difference on the fans from OKC and New York Knicks, the difference on the intensity in the fans, the difference of intensity between New York Knicks and OKC.
Both intense in different ways. I think New York is a lot of fans talking shit on the sidelines, trying to egg you on, and there's a lot of very famous people in the front row, so it's a different feel. But here was the loudest game I played in front of, and the fans were rowdy, the fans are into it, they love their team, so the pressure's there regardless.
You know Shea as well as anybody. How much does the competitive side of you love that you know he's going to come back and this is what you do? Like, you're going to get a battle.
I'm not really too worried about the individual battle. I'm not focusing on it. It's a team job to stop him, and we know that. We're going to come out and compete and play hard regardless. So I haven't thought about that.
You always play well against the names, though. You know, they don't do anything for you?
I mean, there's a name on every team in this league, so, you know. I'm trying to do my best to win the game, you know. There's always a guy that's compete out there. Third string guys in the NBA can give you 25 on any night if you're relaxing and not being ready to play. So there's no drop with the P level from us.
The emotions playing against the Knicks.
I mean, it was fun. Obviously, I'm from New York. I grew up a Knicks fan, and to have the opportunity to play them and beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals. It was fun, and to have my family there, my kids, my parents, my fiance, we definitely enjoyed that moment.
You guys have been really good in game two so far. Yeah. What's this team got that's able to maintain that success when there's so many adjustments in these two games?
Great coaches, great leaders. They keep us on track. Obviously, Pascal's been in the finals before. Pascal won the finals as well. Coach been in the finals and won the finals. We have great leaders around us who's been in these moments and know what it takes to win. And we all just follow along and just listen to what they got to say and just keep going.
What does Pascal have for input on this run? How important has that been to have that?
It's been extremely important. Like I said, he's done it most recent with the Raptors getting that ring, and he's every single day he's always throwing us things that we should take in the back of our mind about how it's gonna go and what's gonna happen, and we're all like a sponge. We're all taking in everything they're saying and just getting better.
Are we talking about Pascal?
Yeah.
We saw you doing some soccer tricks.
Yeah.
Where
Like
do
that,
you,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you learn that?
I'm an athlete. I feel like I can play every sport. People who know me know I can play anything. But my girl's a soccer player. She used to play soccer at George Mason. She was pretty good. So just messing around in the house, I picked up on a couple things. So.
And who you got for the club World Cup?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie.
You have been changing your game style from primary a dunker
Say it
to.
again?
You have been changing your game style
Yeah.
from primary a dunker to a shooter.
Yeah.
Who is
I'm a
helping
shooter
you
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did 5 triples.
I like that.
Who is helping you with that?
Who's helping me? I feel like myself, but obviously all the coaches as well. Me feeling the trust that they have with my shots, the work that we've put in. Obviously Mike, one of our assistant coach. I've been working with him the past 2 years. But like just being in the games and knowing that they have trust in me, even the players as well. It gives me a lot of confidence in myself, and so just go out there and trust my work and trust that it's gonna always go in.
What is the best motivation you have in these finals?
Best motivation?
Yeah.
The ring. I mean, like everybody keeps saying, like there's a lot of players who've been in the league, great players who haven't been to the finals, haven't won the finals, and to have this opportunity to be here, it's a blessing, and we're not going to take it for granted.
Do you think that winning the game when the last shot gives you guys a boost of energy compared to, like, let's say winning by 10?
Yeah.
And how was the locker room like after game one?
Winning a game, period, gives us some energy, but it's not about one game. It's a 7-game series, first to 4, and so that game's over with, and we have a game tomorrow that we have to worry about, and so we're gonna just get better and learn and get prepared for tomorrow.
Just comfort. You got the new contract. You got engaged. Like, what is it special about this season, and what has clicked for you?
Like you said, everything. This has been a great year for me. Obviously started off beginning of the year having my son Oziah, getting engaged in Paris in whatever month that was. I should know that, right? Yeah, facts. It's just a lot going on right now. But the Paris thing, and then obviously having the opportunity to be here. It's been an amazing year, and we're not going to take it for granted. We're gonna get the job done.
Was it easy to slow down and go to sleep after game one?
Yeah. Not really. No, I'm not gonna even lie. Like it was definitely a fun journey in game one, but like I said, once I went to sleep and woke up, it's a new day, and we gotta get prepared for the next game.
Can you talk about?
Now we're in the final, and both of you play like a very big rotational team.
Right.
What does it say about this kind of playing style and how successful this can be ultimately in the finals?
Yeah. We've been doing it for the past 2 years. Like our team has depth, and our coach has a lot of trust in not only the starters but everybody on the bench as well. And so everybody knows their job when they get out there on the floor, and we're all going to go 110% every single time. And the coaches trust that, the players trust that, and that's why we've had so much success.
Thank you. The difference between the intensity in regular series game and finals series?
I'd say just like the energy in the building, stuff like that, all the stuff that leads into it, like media, all that type of stuff. But us and the guys are just focused on not letting the stage get too big, and just focusing on us as a team. So.
Was what you thought, or was it higher, the expectation?
What'd you say?
The intensity was what you thought, or it was higher?
I think it was what I thought. I think our team does a good job of not letting the moment get too big, like I said. But yeah, it's the finals, it's the biggest stage, so just try to not think of that and play our game.
Buen día.
Ay, disculpa.
Un nuevo diseño. Buen día, hermano.
Hey, buen día.
Buen día. Que tenga buen día. Bueno, va buen día. Y este día
Ay, no.
Día difícil, ¿eh?
te digo y buen día. El día está bueno, va buen día.
Ay, perdón. No te preocupes.
No te preocupes, está bien. Pero hoy me siento
Amor, qué buen día tuve hoy.
tan bueno como el mío.
Los buenos días los hacemos todos. Café Santo Domingo, 80 años haciendo los buenos días de los dominicanos.
Buen día.
Amigos de Deportes en Línea, nos encontramos aquí en la cancha del Paycom Center, hogar de los Oklahoma City Thunders, previo al partido número 2, hoy domingo, que se va a escenificar aquí, justo detrás. Aquí podemos ver a jugadores que están tomando su práctica de tiro antes de este partido súper importante, donde todavía no se puede hablar de presión porque simplemente es el segundo juego, pero no sería muy cómodo, no sería muy agradable para el equipo de los Thunders salir e ir a la casa de Indiana con un 0-2. Muchos cambios, no creo que se vayan a esperar para el día de hoy muchos cambios. Sí, la gente tiene su expectativa de que el equipo de Oklahoma tiene que poner a fulano, a Hartenstein específicamente de abridor, que es lo que más se ha comentado debido a que Hartenstein casi siempre está en el quinteto abridor. En el partido número 1 no lo fue. Un partido que, como todo el mundo ha comentado, 25 bolas perdidas para el equipo de Indiana, y Oklahoma solamente pudo obtener de esos 11 puntos. No creo, y un partido que se decidió en los últimos 3 segundos, que fue la única vez en el partido que el equipo de Indiana tomó la delantera. Entonces yo creo como que no se puede sobreanalizar mucho. Habíamos dicho en ocasiones anteriores que el equipo de Oklahoma venía con unos cuantos días, de 8 a 10 días descansando, y habíamos hablado bastante claro también sobre el estilo de juego del equipo de Indiana, que no es un estilo normal y que eso generalmente conlleva un ajuste. Eso generalmente conlleva un ajuste. Si usted le suma eso, se le suma al tiempo sin jugar, y ahí por ahí usted pudiera estar sacando conclusiones. Ustedes saben que mi opinión al respecto es que el equipo de Oklahoma va a ganar la serie. Yo lo di a 5 juegos. Ya se me está complicando un poquito el pronóstico debido ya que de aquí en adelante el City Thunder debería ganar los 4 partidos que le quedan. Pero vamos a ver qué pasa. Falta mucho baloncesto todavía. Todo el mundo ha dicho lo mismo, los jugadores de Oklahoma como los jugadores de Indiana, es una serie larga, es una serie a 7 partidos, el mejor de 4, y que simplemente perdieron un juego, dejaron pasar un juego. Es cierto que lo tienen ahí en el bolsillo, como uno dice, pero no están jugando solos, y habíamos dicho también que son equipos que técnicamente salen ambos. Vamos a ver qué pasa en el día de hoy. El Oklahoma sigue saliendo como favorito, ya no con ese tanto margen de porcentaje, porque ganó el primer partido, pero él sigue siendo favorito per se. Vamos a ver qué pasa, vamos a ver si alguno de los dirigentes se atreve a hacer cambios. Algo también que se notó de esta serie es que ambos dirigentes han seguido jugando con su rotación larga, jugando con entre 10, 12 jugadores, que eso en esta etapa del nivel de la temporada donde vamos no es normal. Cuando se llegan a los playoffs, generalmente los rosters se reducen a 8, 7, como muchos 9. Ambos dirigentes han seguido jugando con su rotación larga de 10, de 12 jugadores, y eso habla mucho de la confianza que tienen los dirigentes en ambas bancas. Y eso es bueno porque tampoco, si la serie se va a 7 partidos, los jugadores no van a llegar muy cansados. O sea que vamos a esperar a ver cómo Indiana puede ajustar para no perder tantas pelotas, porque eso también, como dicen por ahí, Indiana se sale debajo de un camión, porque generalmente cuando tú en la primera mitad tú habías perdido 19 pelotas y solamente te habían hecho 9 puntos de esas 11 pérdidas, esas 19 pérdidas, no todos los días eso se ve. Era para que Indiana estuviera perdiendo ese partido por 20, 25 puntos. No fue así. Crédito para Indiana también, que nunca se quitó, pero lo importante es que los jugadores están enfocados. En el caso de los jugadores de Indiana, un elemento común que han dicho es que han resaltado la integración y qué tanto influye en los fanáticos del Thunder, pero no se han dejado, como ellos dicen, que el escenario se le haga muy grande y que se le meta en la cabeza. Mantenerse enfocado es el reto del equipo de Indiana, y ver cómo va a salir, qué tanto puede ya ajustar en un segundo juego, ya saliendo de la parte oxidada que pudiera tener el Thunder, cómo pudiera manejarse ante un juego que tiene mucha importancia para ellos, debido a que no deberían ir a Indiana 0-2. Algo también que hay que llamar la atención es en el estilo de juego que decíamos de Indiana, que Indiana tiene una ofensiva distribuida y tiene muchos jugadores que saben manejar el balón. El caso de Shepard, el caso de Nembhard, el caso de Pascal Siakam, que todo el mundo lo ha resaltado, no solamente con lo que está haciendo en la cancha, sino ya con su experiencia y el liderazgo que él imprime en ese equipo de Indiana, un equipo joven que para la gran mayoría en su primera participación en una serie final. Recuerden que con Toronto, Pascal Siakam ganó juntamente con Kawhi Leonard ese campeonato del 2019. Entonces, en el caso de, como decía, de Indiana, con esos 4 jugadores que pueden manejar el balón, Miles Turner no tanto, pero también puede poner la bola en el piso. El caso de Oklahoma es un poquito diferente, porque toda la ofensiva, todo el esquema ofensivo y todas las estrategias de jugada giran en torno a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Entonces eso hasta cierto punto le puede dar una ventaja en el planteamiento defensivo al equipo de Indiana, ya que tiene que tratar de enfocarse y pudiera doblar en un dado caso a Shai para tratar de complicarle un poquito la situación a él, que es un elemento que tiene a favor Indiana, ya que tiene 4 jugadores siempre en la cancha que pueden manejar el balón, diferente a Shai, que es el manejador primario de la bola y es el que tiene más habilidades. En el caso de Chet Holmgren, de Hartenstein, del mismo Lugan Dors y de Cason Wallace, son jugadores que no tienen esa habilidad, esa gran habilidad para manejar el balón y organizar el juego, que todo gira alrededor de Shai, toda la ofensiva gira alrededor de Shai, y eso pudiera ser una ventaja en el planteamiento defensivo para el equipo de Indiana. Pero estamos ya a ley de prácticamente casi 2 horas de iniciar el partido y ver qué va a pasar, quién gana, quién pierde. Desde mi punto de vista, creo que Oklahoma gana en el día de hoy. Creo que ningún juego va a ser abierto, van a ser juegos apretados como el pasado. No creo que vayan a haber juegos con ventaja de 15 ni nada por el estilo en el score total. Así que vamos a ver qué pasa. Nos vamos a dirigir ahora hacia los salones de conferencia, donde vamos a estar presentes en la rueda de prensa de los dirigentes Mark Daigneault de Oklahoma City Thunders y Rick Carlisle, el dirigente de Indiana Pacers. Sigan en sintonía y recuerden siempre entrar a nuestro canal Deportes en Línea RD, tanto en Instagram como en YouTube, suscribirse y activar las notificaciones para que le lleguen todas las noticias y todas las alertas del contenido que estamos subiendo para el disfrute de ustedes. Escuchemos la palabra del dirigente Mark Daigneault de los Oklahoma City Thunder, donde se refirió a la mejor opción para planteamiento defensivo que él pudiera tener ante el equipo de los Indiana Pacers.
Just having now 2 games in 4 days, did things feel a little bit more in rhythm? Are you expecting just a kind of play this smooth performance?
I always expect our team to play well. They've built that kind of trust over time. The 2 days is different, but it's different for both teams. There's trade-offs of it. It's a long time in between games. It's different from the regular rhythm, but you also get more rest and recovery. And you can really load the tank as you head into the game. And so we'll see how we play tonight, but we're confident coming into it.
You guys have so many elite perimeter defenders. So anybody could get Tyrese in the last 6 seconds. Is that the matchup you wanted? You practice, obviously, in the game situations. Who do you want on Tyrese when he's going to get the ball?
It depends on the starting point, and that play was a transition defense play, and so the answer is somebody, especially when you're playing this team, like they're so fast up the floor, they're so well spaced, they move it so quickly that getting to 5-on-5 is always the priority against them. The minute you start to forget about the last play, in general, the minute you try to manipulate cover, who's on who, they will burn you. There was a Nemhart 3 in front of our bench early in the game. It was, I think, the first time out of the game where we were trying to do that. We were trying to bump a matchup out, and the ball moved and found him in the corner. And it's a great lesson against this team. You just, in those areas of the game, when it gets loose and it's often misses or turnovers, you just have to prioritize getting 5-on-5. It doesn't really matter who's on who. So the fact that the ball got tagged, is the starting point.
El dirigente Rick Carlisle de los Indiana Pacers habló sobre el estilo de juego de Indiana, que es un equipo que juega rápido y que están preparados para eso, y que a su entender el equipo que juega rápido generalmente obtiene buenos resultados. Escuchemos.
Yeah, Rick, the Pacers have one of the best transition defenses in the league. Just what are some of the key principles to having an elite transition defense?
You've got to go from offense to defense very quickly. The first 3 steps are key. Communication's key. We work on it a lot. We play fast, and what I've learned over the years is that teams that play fast tend to have a good kind of foundation to be a good transition team. I don't know where you're getting your numbers. We always feel like we can be a lot better. And so I do think the game's going to be faster tonight. I think Oklahoma's going to be more aggressive and faster. So it'll be a key tonight.
You guys are 7-0 in games 1 and 2. What do you attribute that professionalism, that preparation to that get you off to great starts in these series?
Yeah, I'm not interested in talking about the past. Each day as you are on a playoff run is like a new day. I find that looking back is a dangerous thing. We've got to keep our eye firmly where it needs to be, which is on now and the next thing. And so, but this all comes down to us trying to execute what we do a little better than them doing what they do. And so